our magical series, Magical Relationships. Just going to wait a few seconds for the algorithms to kick in to let people know we're going live. I'm rolling up the sleeves for this one. How you all be? Magical? Impractical? Hey, Patty, welcome, welcome. There's so much here with magical relationships. I did a little poll and people said, oh, I'm interested in a journey with someone. So we're going to dive a little bit into that. And while I'm waiting, I will remind you that on Monday, I have a special for you, hi Rita, that it's about growing with relationships, growing through relationships in times of self-isolation, in times of crisis, in times of stress, whatever that is for you. So if you're interested, press hashtag I'm in, and I will send you the details. We're just organizing it now. So let's get started. We have an international community. Tell us where you're from, and come on in with your questions if you're new to all the Ask Susans. It's about a conversation, not a dialogue, not a monologue. It's about conversations and questions. So come on in with your questions, your ahas, your I didn't know that, or could you give me some more information, Susan? I love it. This is what it's all about. Checking in with you, talking with you, just the way I would if we were doing a one-on-one with a client. And some of you are my clients, so I'm so grateful that you pop in as well. So let's begin, shall we? We've talked a lot about magic over the last 4 or 5 Thursdays. What is magic? Magic is consciousness. Consciousness is magic. Hey, Mark. What is magic? Magic is awareness, right? We've talked about that. Magic is presence. Magic is listening, right? So without being willing to listen, without being willing to be totally present, without being willing to use your awareness and be aware, doesn't mean you have to do anything. There is no magic, and there probably isn't a relationship. Now, I've been with Ricky for over 40 years. We've raised 4 children, and now I'm playing with 2 little grand beings. And what I can tell you for sure is it's really about listening. It's not like, yeah, I heard ya. It's more about listening. Listening to the possibilities. Listening to the whispers of what's working, what's not working. Right? Listening for the information, for the clarity that you're looking for. Listening is totally different than hearing. Right? We often say, oh, I heard that, and then we use it against someone. Well, do you see there's no magic in that? I heard what you said. It doesn't mean you were present with it. Part of the magical being in a relationship has to do with being present with you, right? Because if you're not actually willing to be present with you, are you willing to be present with any relationship? And again, relationships are not just with a physical partner. Relationships are with the entities of being with someone. Relationships are the entity of your business, right? You're in relationship with everything. There's nothing you're not in relationship with. So how do we create that as magical? Again, are you willing to use your awareness? What is this? What can I do with it? Can I change it? How can I change it? What's working? What's not working for me? Without going to conclusion. I was just talking to a client this morning, and she's in relationship with looking for what else she would like to create. She's pivoting in her business. And she said, oh, this felt so light, and I want to do it, but I'm getting a no. So we laughed because she was willing to be aware, be in the question, ask. But she forgot to ask, is now the time? Right? So I asked her, well, how old were you being when you said, I want to do it now? How many of us in relationships have decided we have to have it now? Whatever that is. You see that? You kick out the universe, you kick out your team who's there to help you, right? Hey, Karen. I'm asking you to go beyond all of that and be totally present with what you're aware of. Hey, Jenny. right? With what you're aware of. And then start to play from there. So, is this ringing for people? Are we in the right wheelhouse? I need to see some yays or nays, questions, thumbs up. A lot of you just came on. We're talking about magical relationships, and the short review that I gave at the top was what we've talked about magic through this whole series. The willingness to be aware, the willingness to be present, right? Being present and being aware, you get the potency of that. When you're with someone, and again, or something, be it a person or your business, right? Whatever that is for you, your garden, are you willing to be totally present and listen to what is being asked of you? Again, that's something we're taught not to do with relationships with a person or with relationships with our business or relationships with our garden. You see how it's all the same? Everything's organic, right? So if you're not willing to listen, have you already decided what something should be? How's that working for you? Patty says, oh, very wonderful, Susan. Thank you so much. You're welcome. Yay. Cool, cool, cool. Right? So once again, the part of the magic is living in the present, right? Being aware of what's being asked of you. And listening to the winds of awareness, to the winds of consciousness, and to the winds of the universe, right? Yeah. And being in the question. Absolutely. That's what actually has worked for me with my businesses, with my relationship with Ricky. Right? People say, wow, you've been together for over 40 years. Absolutely. Part of being in a relationship with someone and something, again, everywhere you've differentiated, well, I'm this way in my business and I'm not this way in my relationship with my husband, wife, partner, lover, children, whatever that is for you. You can't be one and another way here, right? There's a discordancy there. So part of the brilliance of us having that capacity to create relationships, to be in a relationship, is that we have the choice to choose independence and interdependence at the same time. Well, what are you talking about, Susan? Well, the magic of a relationship has to do with who you be, what you be, and how you be, and being that, right? Not bowing to the winds of other people's desires, wants, needs. Being aware of other people's desires, wants, and needs, and being who you be right from your foundation out. Right? So when I met Ricky, we were both living our own lives, independent. I knew exactly what I wanted in a partner, and that's who he is. And he knew who he wanted in a partner, and that's who I was. At that time, have we shifted and changed? Absolutely, because we're both listening to each other, right? And we didn't try to change each other. So we both had our independence, and yet together, collectively, we are able to interdepend. In other words, where we gather together, we create greater, not less than. What does that have to do with awareness? So what would being with this person create for me? Now? 5 years from now? 100 years from now? Right. What is it that I'm asking for in my life, in my living? And does this relationship, again, whether it's your business, whether it's your garden, whether it's a person, does it match the vibration that actually creates more in my life and my living? Hey, Patricia. Questions? Give me some feedback here. Are we going too deep? Not deep enough? As a CEO of Right Relationship for You, for 12 years I traveled facilitating courses around the world. And since choosing to be at home more and working from home through the beauty of the internet, I have thousands of clients who have come to me with their relationships, right? And I would say for the most part, we start with them, right? So the magic of a relationship is one that contributes to you. Yeah? Okay, questions. Anything popping for people? Or are you just like doing something else and listening on the side? Right? Are you in relationship with your computer? That's one of the things that a lot of people have been coming to me with, is they've been spending lots and lots of time on Facebook, on Zooms, on their computer. And is that really, are you just taking everything in without listening to the whispers of awareness? Everywhere you're in a relationship with your iPhone. There's so many times where I'm like, no. It's too easy to go down a rabbit hole in any relationship when you're not actually willing to listen and ask this question. Does this add to my life? Will this add to my life? Will being with this person create what I'm asking to create? And is what he or she is asking to create, is that vibrationally compatible with where I'm going? Patricia, does it all start with your relationship with yourself? Bingo! Yes, it does. Thank you. That's just where I was going to go. Thank you, Patricia. It all begins with you, right? So if you're not willing to listen to you and really listen, right? If you're not willing to be aware of what it is your needs, wants, and desires are for you, if you're not willing to be present with you every 10 seconds, truth, are you asking somebody else to be that for you? Right? I took a poll on Susan, and the biggest thing that popped for people was they would like to have somebody to create a journey with. So my question is, are you willing to have a journey with you? Right? The magic of you, the desires of you. Are you willing to begin with you? Because you are your primary relationship, not somebody else. And that's where the magic is. Because you have the capacity to be in the question, to ask questions. Right? So my question for you is, are you willing to let go of any points of views you have about what a relationship should be like and be present with you as an organic, evolving, shifting, growing being? Jenny says, oh, I love that, a journey. Absolutely. Yeah, for sure. Like when Ricky and I met each other, we had no idea we were going to be together this long time. And the journey that we've each had independently, and the journey we've had of actually being with someone else and learning what that creates, right? And listening. All the tools of listening, learning, being present has grown me and my life hugely. That's my choice with whoever I meet. If this person isn't adding to my life in a way, and it could be just their presence is adding to my life. It's not about somebody else doing something for you. It's about, does this add to my life and living? Right? If you're surrounded by judgments, by naysayers, by people who criticize you, is that adding to your life and living? No. You have choice. Choice creates. Who are you choosing to play with, to be with? And what are you choosing to play with and be with? Right? Again, right now there's a lot being thrown at you through the internet. Are you grabbing each thing and going like, rah? Or are you saying, no, thank you. I'm actually going to unfollow this and unfollow that, and I'm going to be present with what is my priority. Right? So part of being in a magical relationship is knowing what your priorities are. How much have you mimicked other people's way of being in a relationship? And is that creating the magic that you're asking for? So, questions. What's popping for people? Yeah. This is the last in the series. go back and listen to all the other magical series if you're just new with Ask Susan. We're going to be taking them down at the end of April, which is coming soon. And I'm offering something new on Monday, which is growing through relationships in times of stress. So I'm looking forward to your questions on that one as well. Anything popping for you? Right? Your primary relationship is your relationship with you. When you're willing to understand, to stand under, right? And just look up, and then go way out and take an aerial view and look around and see what works for you, what doesn't work for you. Right? That's the magic of who you be. You have this capacity to expand out. For the most part, people contract. They contract into a relationship. What I'm asking you and challenging you with, are you willing to generate with the relationships that you have now? If the answer is no, let them go. Right? Now you can create something new with the same person. Right? It's not about, well, Susan said to let them go. If it works for you, cool. If not, ask, what is it that we're asking to create here? So part of being present is the willingness to be present with that person or those persons. And ask the questions that you require. Right? Chances are you have a knowing about every relationship you're in. And that's the magic. But we've been taught we don't know. You can't know. You didn't know. How come you didn't know? Right? So how much have you blocked off that sense of abundance with relationships by going back to how you were entrained to be in a relationship rather than going forward to, I wonder what's possible here. Patty, could you please talk about communication? Well, first question I would ask you is, what does communication mean to you? Right? There's no blanket anything. I know there's some modalities that say communication is this, and blah, blah, blah is that, and empathy is this. And no. You're an infinite being with infinite choices and infinite awarenesses, and everything's going to be different for each person. Right? So I'm going to ask you, what does communication mean to you? For the most part, when we say I want to communicate, is something that we get like a communique, right? And I think it comes from a word, French word, I don't know, it could come from a Latin word, which is, here's a piece of paper that communicates my desires, needs, and wants, right? Like in the armed forces, you get a communique, right? Go 5 miles here, land this there, bomb that there, whatever that is. In business, you get a communique. Please hold this, please do this, right? So communication, we've totally misidentified and misapplied what communication is. And that's why I'm asking you to start listening. I heard you is the communication. What were you listening for? Right? Listening goes beyond all that. So I hope this gives you some information. Let me see some hearts or thumbs up if that gives you some clarity. Yeah. Do Rick and I communicate with each other? I guess so. I never thought of it before. We actually listen. We actually take time with each other. Part of the thing that I encourage people to do is to set a time. If something isn't working, say, hey, can you give me 10 minutes of your time? Everybody has 10 minutes, right? And when can we talk about this, right? Because one of the things that we'll be talking about in, oh, I got hearts on that. One of the things that we're going to be talking about on the Monday webinar with growing through relationships in times of stress has to do with people will barge right in. Like, I've got it, this and that. No. What if you handled your relationship, or what if you lived with your relationship as if it was a business? Make an appointment, right? So that you're listening to each other, you're present with each other. That's a gift. That's the magical gift of who you be. Hey Jane, hey Florence, hey Octavia. Let me know, Patty, if that helps you out. Jenny, it's been interesting. I've been on my own for 5 weeks and have a bit of a cabin fever today. I'm going to play with having a journey, an adventure with me. Absolutely, Jenny. Absolutely. Yes. Every day. What if every day was an adventure? Who am I today? What grand and glorious adventure. What grand and glorious journey. Who am I today and what grand and glorious journey can I be, do, have, create, generate, change, choose, instigate, and instill into my day? That's kind of fun. That's the magic of who we be. We play with the universe. Yeah. Any other questions popping for people? Thank you so much. Patty, communication is to create something new using words. Is requiring words for creating something new? Communication is creating something new using words. Is requiring words to create something new? Absolutely not. Have you ever heard of body language, baby? Just like that, right? As an infinite being, you have infinite capacities. And how many of us rarely use them? Do you watch somebody's body language? Do you listen to what comes out of their head and not comes out of their mouth? Right? That's the magic of who we be. We have these capacities, but we're taught to find proof. Right? Show me the proof. It's relevant. Oh, cool. Thanks, Mark. Thanks so much. Appreciate that. Octavia says hi. Yay. Yeah. This is just a little quickie. As I say, I've been facilitating these classes for about 14 years. And now, since I've been playing with coaching and working with people in their relationships, and I do coach couples and I coach singles as well on their relationships. And again, your primary relationship is your relationship with you. So go back and listen to these tools and ask yourself, which one of these am I not actually being present with myself with, right? Because, being in the question, asking questions, and listening to the energies. What's your priority? What's creating the greatest amount of possibilities with the priority that you're asking to create with, that you are creating with now? Is it your relationship with yourself, right? Is it relationship with your business? Is it relationship with another person, right? I wonder what that could be like for you. So if there are no more questions, I'm just going to give another fast review. Magical has to do with awareness, has to do with presence, has to do with listening, has to do with being in the question, has to do with playing with possibilities without any significance. Hey, Mary, right? Now, what would it be like to take all of those, we'll call them qualities, and insinuate those in every relationship? Just for you, just for fun. I wonder what that could create, right? Notice there's no resistance, there's no reaction, right? There's nothing significant. It's like, so what am I aware of today? And it's now the time. All right, I will love you and leave you. Please, please, please have a re-listen if you're just coming in now. If you're coming in later, #replay. Join me on Monday for, I see insinuate. Mark, totally. Jenny says thank you. Join me on Monday for growing through and with relationships in times of stress and times of self-isolation, right? It's my gift to you. I would like to see you. It's going to be a Zoom. #I'm in, and I will ask you for your email, and I will send you the deets. And I'm so excited and so thrilled by the amount of people that are signing up right now. We'll be getting a link in a little bit more, professional. But you know me, it's like I feel it tugging at me, I'm going to go for it. And so that's what I'm doing. Is I was asking how else can I play with all of you in a way that changes and shifts what's going on for you. And I've been getting lots of information from clients saying, I'm I'm home alone, or I'm stuck with this person. I haven't really been with them all these years. We just saw each other at night. Mark says, thank you, Jenny. Thank you. Oh, thank you, Jenny. Cool, cool, cool. And if you're not comfortable putting your email on this thread, private message me and just say, hey, Susan, here's my email. I'm in. And I'm going to put a poll up. Would you like it more at 11 o'clock in the morning or 1 o'clock in the afternoon? So whatever, I love these polls because I love it when you jump in on the polls and let me know what's happened for you. That's communication, baby. All right, you know, I adore you. See you Sunday with Ask Susan. It's kind of, we're playing with a little bit with choice on Sunday, and you'll be, I think, if you're on my newsletters, you'll be very interested in the way that I've been playing with over the last 5 weeks and what I'm aware of with people and choice. Okay, I could go on forever, and I won't. Live boldly, love greatly, and be that fearless leader you came here to be, because the world needs more of you. More of your magic, more of your presence, more of your capacities to listen, and not less. See you Sunday, and I for sure will see you Monday. Thank you. Everybody's popping in their emails. I love you guys. Mwah. Bye-bye. Have a great one.